Hi guys, it's Alli. In today's video I have my blues and my greens. Let me just turn it like that for you. Alright, so I have my blues and greens by Zoya. If you've been with me for the past 2 days, we've been looking at the oranges and pinks by Zoya that I picked out. Those 6, we looked at 10 classics and neutrals, and today we're going to be looking at the blues and the greens. If you missed those videos, I will have them linked in the description box for you. Please go check those out before you watch these so that you kind of know what's going on, how I decided to choose these. Some of these are requests, some of these are things that I just picked up. But watch those so that you know what's going on. And without further ado, let's just jump in. So first up we have Tiana. This one is just a beautiful pastel green. In terms of the shade, it's more of like a pistachio meets, a pastel pistachio green. It's very pastel, very whited out. This one is one of the ones which I referenced in the first video that I water marbled with kohl, and it does water marble beautifully, which is nice. Out of the bottle, like fresh out of the bottle when you first buy it, it does have a very thin and kind of streaky formula. However, mine has now thickened to a normal formula, and it is opaque in 2 coats. When I first got it, it was a solid 3-coater, but over time it's thickened up to, on 1 it's a little bit streaky, and then on 2 it gets completely opaque. I use 2 coats both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture, so my bottle is sitting pretty securely at 2 coats. And again, that's Tiana. Next up we have Bevin. Bevin is just a sage green. I've raved about this on Instagram. I love this polish. I actually think I raved about it in the video too. I love this polish so much. It's extremely even on the first coat, but just slightly sheer. Just slightly sheer. In fact, I would call this a 1 to 2 coater, because with a thick enough coat you can get this opaque in 1. It has a very normal formula, so it's not difficult to work with at all. So I use 2 coats both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture, but this one is just extremely easy to use and I love it. And again, that's Bevin. Next up we have Ness. Ness is a cool toned green. So beautiful. I think I've raved about this one too on Instagram. This one was one of the polishes I wore in my St. Patrick's Day mani, which I loved. So this one is almost opaque in 1 coat. There were just a few streaks on the first coat that made it require 2. And it did require 2 both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture, so I'll just say it's a 2-coater, but depending on how picky you are and depending on your application, you might be able to get this opaque in 1. And again, that's Ness. Alright, and next up we have Wyatt. Wyatt is kind of just a true Crayola green. I mean, maybe a little bit darker than a Crayola green. It's leaning more toward the hunter side, but it's kind of a mid-toned green, I guess I'll say. So this one is just a gorgeous 1-coat wonder. I mentioned this, or I reviewed this in the Urban Grunge collection late last summer for the fall collection. This one took me 1 coat in that review, and it took me 1 coat both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. Today it was just a beautiful, beautiful shade, beautiful 1-coater. Can't go wrong with that. And again, that's Wyatt. And next up we have the bad girl of the bunch. This one is Cecelia, and this one is kind of a green tone teal. I think it looks green in the viewfinder. It's a green tone teal, and the reason why I call this the bad girl is because she is the one who has stained me terribly. Unfortunately, she stained me with just wearing her for like a couple of minutes in the live swatch and then a couple of minutes for the swatch picture. I still have really bad staining, so she's the bad girl of the bunch. If you had your eye on her, just know that she is a stainer. So Cecelia does have a really squishy kind of jelly feel to it, but it did just require 2 coats for me, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. So again, that's Cecelia. Next up we have Breezi. Breezi is kind of a green toned, muted, going toward mid-toned blue, but not quite there. It's not a light blue, it's not a mid-toned blue, it's like approaching mid-toned. Very green and very gray in there. I really love this one too. It required just 2 coats. Very normal formula, just 2 coats both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. So, I mean, I feel like I sound like a robot because these are all just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Zoya's bread and butter lies in their rich reds and in their blues and greens. It really does. So again, that's Breezy. Next up we have Dory. Dory is, like, when it's sitting next to Breezy, it almost looks like a periwinkle. But this one is kind of just a darkened sky blue. It is so beautiful. I'm telling you, I love Zoya's blues. Like, I love them. They blow me out of the water. But yes, this one is a gorgeous, gorgeous polish. And on the first coat, it did go on a little bit streaky, but it was opaque for me in 2 easy coats, easy to apply and everything. Just took me 2 coats, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. And again, that's Dory. And next up we have Rocky. Rocky I would call kind of a muted turquoise. It's a blue and a green. There's a lot of green in there, but it's still a blue. So it's still turquoise, but it's muted. This one had a pretty normal formula. It was pretty normal consistency, but just a little bit streaky and sheer on the first coat. It did get completely opaque in 2 in my live swatch and my swatch picture. Have I said that like 10 times in a row? Yes, probably. But another just beautiful formula, very easy to use. And again, that's Rocky. Alright, and the last 2, you can probably guess what they are because I have worn them multiple times on my Instagram, I believe. The next one I have is Lillian. Lillian is just a slightly green toned sky blue shade. It has a beautiful formula. Well, you know, I've had it for so long, I'm sure it's thickened up over time. So I will say, fresh out of the box, when you first buy it out of the bottle, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 coats. But mine's thickened up over time to just need 2 coats, 2 very normal coats with no problems. A little bit streaky on the first one, but all those streaks get covered up pretty easily on the second one. And again, that's Lillian. And the last polish we have is called Blue, and I feel like most of you are probably already familiar with this if you don't have it in your collection. This one is just a extremely whited out, soft, cottony blue. This one, again, like Lillian, probably out of the bottle, I would assume. I can't really remember because I've had it for so long, and before I was even into like reviewing nail polish or anything. But this one had, it has a normal consistency now, but I'm sure if it's anything like the other dark or the other lighter ones, it may have come a little bit more thin and streaky on the first, but it's still a little bit streaky on the first now, but easily covers, the second coat easily covers up those streaks. Both in my live swatch and swatch picture, it took me 2 coats. This one was the 3rd polish of the 3 that are in these videos that I water marbled with, and it does water marble beautifully, which is really nice. So yes, again, that's Blue. So that's it, guys. Those are the 25 Zoya polishes, some of which you requested and some of which I just thought I would show you. I love these polishes. I think that they are, I mean, every one that I picked out I like wearing, with the exception of Thandie, I think. I really like wearing, and Genevieve is the other one that prior to this swatch video I had never worn before. But other than that, I love all of these. I love wearing them all. My 3 most worn, and well, I've had them for the longest, I guess, yeah, 3 most worn are Blue, Lillian, and then Alli from 2 days ago. And also Sailor. I also wear that one quite a bit too. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like always, if you have any questions about any of these polishes, just let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to get you an answer quickly. Make sure that you take advantage of the Earth Day sale if it suits you. If you see some things here that you would like, I would love to hear if you do buy them based on my review. I would love to hear that. Just so that I know what types of things you kind of gravitate toward, what kinds of shades, so that I know what to show you in the future. So thank you guys for watching. Oh, my lips and my nails, same thing as the other 2 videos. Fearlessly Alice by OPI on my nails, and Sugarberry Crumble by Jordana on my lips. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video very soon.